Hi everyone, welcome to Radio Hawke's Bay. This is Gail and life coaching. To do with your, everyday world, but also to do with, and things that you're going through, because we do, but also to do with your intuitive, psychic, introspective aspect of yourself and spiritual aspects, your spiritual being. Just looking at what the month is for the moment, because we are middle of September, and how magic to have the first day of spring with sunshine, and then the second day of spring with sunshine. And it just was a very good indicator for you in your life that there is newness and there is growth, and there are things to look forward to and lighten your spirits, because September very much is a month of lighter energy. And if you're feeling emotional, there's reasons for that. On the 7th of September, there was a eclipse in Pisces. Now, if you don't know about astrology, it doesn't matter. But Pisces is that intuitive self of yours. It's that psychic self of yours. It's that part of you that kind of has a little bit of a whisper in the background when you're going about your everyday. It whispers where your mind is loud, your intuition whispers. It whispers, and it will repeat the whisper when there is something for you to take notice of that is important. It is always right, and it is always to protect you. It is always to benefit you. And that's what your psychic side of yourself, your intuitive side, and everybody has an intuitive side. It is exactly the same, different words, same area, same function, okay? So I like to bring things back to, normal. It's not airy-fairy. It's not mystical, except in the sense that you weren't taught about it. For those of you that are interested and curious and then start exploring it, you find this whole magical world opening up. It is the first time in my life that I realized there was something about life that was good, that was interesting, that was something that helped understand things. So your intuition, your intuitive side can tap on the deep wisdom within you. And, we cloud our wisdom with knowledge, and sometimes our knowledge is limited. Pretty much most of the time, what you've been taught is just a limited aspect of what your wisdom can add to it, and your wisdom helps guide you through life. So sometimes it's wise to make a move, and sometimes it's wise not to make a move or react. And your wisdom can help you with that. But wisdom and intuition are those silent partners. So unless you choose to access it, unless you choose to connect with it, it can remain as if you have none. You may think, well, I don't have any wisdom, I don't have any intuition, or that your intuition is somehow to be disregarded. So, just letting you know, your intuition is a great help, a great guide. If you felt lost, if you felt lacking in direction, if you're feeling lacking in purpose and what your purpose is, your intuition will, on its own, like it's this little radar magnet, it will just draw people to you that have some sort of information. It'll help draw you to situations where you can be part of learning something in a comfortable way about yourself, that aspect particularly of yourself, your psychic intuitive side. And I'm going to use both words because we create bad judgments toward some labels, and we want to keep it that it's simple, it's ordinary, it's natural, it's normal. Everybody is a composite, and we've said your mind, body, soul, and emotions. You are all of those things. So emotions are reactive, so they are not your intuition, by the way. Your intuition sits in your dum. I've said before, if you want to check whether it's your intuition or your emotion, your intuition sits in your belly quietly. Imagine a person. Talk to that person in your belly, because then your mind will go, what? And your emotions will settle if you give them a little bit of time. Enough so that the quiet voice of your intuition can be felt. Okay, it can be felt before it is heard. So a feeling will help you understand the trueness of something, the direction of something, as in being a good direction or a not a good direction. It's a little bit like, a little bit like if you've got somewhere amazing to go, you've been looking forward to this event, but there's been this little niggle, this little, I don't know what this is, and it could be nervousness. You might put it down to nervousness, and it could be nervousness, but what are you nervous about? And if you pay a little bit of attention, that nervousness might feel that there's something that's a little bit off, but you want to go to this event, you've been waiting for this event, and as the event comes closer, you go, that feeling may have become a little stronger, a little less silent, and it's telling you to listen. There is something about that event that is going to happen or that is not going to be good for you. And so therefore, your intuition is trying to protect you from that experience. And I know of people who have, and including family members of mine who have, in their youth, had a kind of party to go to and did not feel good, wanted to go, be with mates, all that kind of stuff, but didn't and listened, and somebody at that party was actually killed. And I know that that family member, being the person they were, would have rushed in, gone in between the situation and the people, could easily have ended up hurt. So listen to your intuition. It's telling you that for a reason. You still have free will, by the way. You can still ignore your intuition, but you always know when you ignore your intuition. And if you think back to your life, when you've ignored it and not listened, it hasn't gone well. So we are mid-September. We've had one eclipse, so we had a full moon eclipse in Pisces on the 7th, and we've got another one coming up on the 21st of September, which is a solar eclipse. So one with the moon eclipse and one with the sun eclipse. And these are just events that happen in the sky. They do affect you. So around the beginning of the month, through the 7th, and maybe still a little bit, has been a quite emotional, quite imaginative as well. It's a little bit like your creative energies will be in gear working. Your radar I've just been talking about will have been kind of a bit stronger, and a whole lot of releases happen in September, and so a whole lot of emotional, deep emotional stuff related, by the way, to things that happened in September 2024. Round about the 17th of September 2024, those things will have come up for you around that week surrounding the 7th of September. And will come up again once or twice for a few months. Okay, so we just want you to know there's a reason for why you're feeling the way you're feeling, especially if you're hugely emotional and you don't know why, especially if an emotion comes out of nowhere and it's like, I don't know why, and especially if you're a person that does not get upset and emotional over things and all of a sudden you're a blubbering mess type of thing. It is because you are releasing pain, hurt, trauma, energy that is negative that you can't carry with you anymore. And it's an invitation to let you know it's finished. That cycle has ended. We are able to now let it go. And I don't mean disregard it as not being important, because of course it was. It affected you. Everything that affects you, absolutely important, okay? There are little pearls in your experience, especially the huge emotional ones. And those little pearls are, what's it trying to tell you? It's trying to give you information. So actually writing down all your emotions, and then anything that kind of comes to your mind while you're writing, just keep writing. Don't care about what you're writing. Just write it. Write out the emotions in graphic detail, how you're truly, authentically feeling them. It's only you and a piece of paper. You can burn it. You can get rid of it. It's just for you. You are your therapist, I guess, but you are consulting yourself about what is going on without any outside interference. And doing that, you are actually helping that energy to move, release, and let go so you can leave it behind. But you're also looking at what you can discover. And what you can discover is the little pearls. So the little pearls are, what did I gain from that experience? And you could go, okay, I gained a lot of pain. I learned not to trust people. I learned who was there for me and there was no one. And so that was because you were there for yourself. But you also gained other things. Think about your life. Think about what you were hoping and wishing for your life around the time that life changes happened. Some of the most dramatic life changes that you will have experienced in the last 2 years were helping you line up with your goals, dreams, wishes. And you know what? I get it. You didn't wish for that to happen. That's the last thing you might have wanted to happen. But it gave you the opportunity for your wishes and desires to be manifested, for you to live them, for you to embark on them. You know, I had that personally for myself as well. And yes, it takes a little bit of time when you're in the middle of it to see the why it happened and how could it ever have been anything I wished for? I wished for this, and this. Not that, and that didn't give me this, and this. 6 months later, 8 months later, a year later, you go, actually, it gave me exactly what I had been asking for. So that's kind of how it works. Your wishes and desires will happen, not in the way that you are expecting, pretty much 99.99% of the time. But life will alter, things will change, and it will bring you into alignment. It's what it's all about. Changes are about bringing you into alignment with your life purpose, but your life desires are aligned with your life purpose. So your life purpose isn't something that's going to, you just have to go and do this. It's something you truly want to do because you can serve your purpose through that doing. You might not have thought it would going to happen that way, but like I say, it will. So we are middle of September. Okay, now just talking a little briefly about eclipses. Eclipses are defining moments of change. Things alter, things shift, things change. Okay, you've got the moon, which we know affects the tides. We know it affects our minds sometimes and our emotions. The sun also affects us, but in a really kind of positive, new, refreshing kind of way. So we have the eclipse the solar eclipse on the 21st of September. So this is on the equinox, so even more powerful. We have the equinox. We have the equinox. So you also must know that the other things up there in the sky affect us. The equinox does because it's wind. Yeah, we can feel it. As far, when it comes to our eclipses, our moon phases, we feel them, but we don't recognise it's part of the phase of the moon or the phase that the moon is in. But everything affects us, is my bottom line with that. So the eclipse on the 21st, along with the equinox, is going to affect us in different ways. So it's in Virgo. So saying about these astrological signs, if you don't understand what they are, Virgo brings things into order. Okay, so it's the disciplinarian, if you like, in some ways. It likes order, it likes simplicity, but it likes it to be exercised. It is about making sense of things. It's about putting all your ducks in a row, knowing what your plan will be, and then being able to stick to it a little bit. It's not strict. It's not hard line. It's just an influence that will work better for you if you do it in the way. And honestly, I invite you to look up Virgo. What influence does Virgo have, especially an eclipse in Virgo? Just have a little look, particularly related to September. So September is the month, and I'll just say it's the month of completion. So there's a cycle that completes. Okay, I said about September 2024, something happening around September 2024 for you in September 2024. I think around the 17th completes its cycle. So there could be a whole lot of emotions that are brought up from that time now, this month, from and around the 7th, okay? Just explains why you might be feeling a little extra kind of emotional or just disconnected or not being able to concentrate, all those kinds of things. So you just let those things happen and then you go, okay, that's in the past. Look at how you can maybe write it all out, to process it, to come to... It provides you knowledge. When you look at what you've written about how you're feeling, it reveals things to you. And somehow just by reading it back to yourself, things settle inside yourself a bit more. And maybe you've got to write several times for that to happen. It is also the month, if you remember, to put your mind on higher things. Higher things being spiritual. So spiritual is, the saying I have is, it's not what it looks like. This person is difficult in your life, but it's not what it looks like. It's not what you think it's about. And very often it's not personal. We take it personally and that can create problems, but there's always a higher reason for why things happen in September. It's not about what it looks like, okay? It's not the human harshness of it. It's where is this coming from? It's like, what is this person struggling with? What are they wanting? So for you personally, sitting still, that exercise I just said about, that's great, but sitting still, looking inward at yourself, at your life, at what you want, with no measuring stick at all that is human. Okay? No measuring stick that is human. Not based on what qualifications you've got, what successes you've had in the material world, because it's only material, what successes you've had with money or without money. This is, what life have you lived? What life are you willing and wanting to live? Is it a life where you want a wholesome lifestyle? That's higher mindedness. That's a spiritual connection, a knowledge of nature's connection that feeds and nourishes us. So September's about all of those higher minded things. So whatever is contemplative, spiritual, of a higher vibration. So even music that has that lovely meditation aspect to it is extremely healing. September is the healing month. It is the most effective with healing. And on that note, I'll just say to you that at the end of September, sorry, I've just lost what I was going to say. At the end of September, because it's a healing month, at the end of September, I will say this: just choose to let go, going into October, let go of anything that is still unprocessed, because October is the month where everything changes around. From where it has been, it will change to something better, okay? Or something different that will give you more newness and purpose in your life, and enthusiasm with stepping forward. So, okay, so let's have a little look at some cards we have for middle of September. And I'm just going to pick one at this particular point in time. I didn't even ask for it to be helpful. This is closing doors. This is letting the past be the past, taking all those valuable things that it has taught you, how it's helped you grow, how it's helped you be curious about discovering more and learning more and doing more, not in a way of activity, but in the way of, this matters. I want to be really useful. I want to make sure that someone is actually feeling okay. It is the month of chapters closing and finishing off cycles. And so some people can use September as the month to cross over. And it is a complete completion. It's almost, I feel, a sense of joy and celebration for the person who actually does choose September, because it's something within them that has fulfilled its complete purpose and cycle. So what else have we got for September? Mid-September, because we didn't do this at the beginning of September. Mid-September. It's a time for relationships. These are relationships of all kinds, okay? Think about your partner, your friend. Look at them a little bit more deeply. Look at them and see if they're happy, if they're content, if they're struggling. Be that listening ear. If that's all you can do, and speaking to males mostly as well here, just listen. You don't have to do anything. Just be a listening ear and let the person just say how they're feeling. You don't necessarily have to fix it. I'm one of those people that likes to want to fix things, and I have to learn to be not offering the fix. So we all learn and grow. It takes us time. But relationships and your choices in people you allow around you is very important this month. It's a month where you can kind of explore new activities, where you meet new people that are more like-minded, more think like you is what like-minded is. They think like you. They have the same values, the same aspirations, you know? And if a person is wanting to have a better life, to have higher knowledge, having and letting them have the opportunity this month is important. You don't have to. It's not a do. It's just if you feel it, if you kind of feel that would be something that you'd like to do. So, close relationships as well. It is about finding a little base of harmony, of balance, of healing in relationships. And sometimes that just means spending time together, just being with each other. Maybe looking back to when you first met, how things were when you first met, because we are in a completion of a cycle. That can be really useful and helpful. So, the other aspect is September, you are free from the past. Whether you let it go or not is entirely your choice. If you're holding on to the past, it's because there's something that you haven't figured out yet about the past that has given you something or is trying to say, hey, there's something here, there's something more, okay? That's why I suggested the writing everything out, processing it, you know, getting it down on paper so you can kind of check it, reference it, take it on board, see if there is anything, and then let it go with love. Honestly, let everything go with love, because every single experience you have had has been by your design. And don't growl me, I know, none of us choose it. I have had some of the harshest lessons my entire life, and that is because that's how I would learn, because I wouldn't learn perhaps otherwise. So choice now, in September also. Choice. What are you going to do? Are you going to continue doing things that are not serving you? Are you going to continue being with people that are not serving you? Or are you going to choose you and a path that is a lot richer for you? So that's a very strong thing to contemplate in September. And on that note, I'm going to finish this segment, this YouTube segment of today's show, and we'll be back in a second or two with the radio portion now of the next part, where I'll talk further about September. I'll have a couple more messages for you. So let's, on that note, if you would like to contact me for a reading, a session, my phone number is 027 4166 545, and I am Gail. This is Radio Hawke's Bay, your community radio, and it has been my pleasure. Namaste. Right, hi to everyone out there. It's Gail, and this is the life coaching session for every aspect of who you are as a human being, and as a spiritual being, and a soul being, and an emotional being, and a mindful, knowledgeable being. It just covers a lot of things about ourselves, our life, where we are in the year, why you might be going through some of the things that you are feeling and going through. We have had such a lot this year of planetary activity and I'll just say the one big one is the solar flares since last year have really upset the equilibrium of the planet. I've said this before, but I feel it's important. It's important if you have been going through feeling different, feeling like maybe you don't